So ever since our 0.01 devlog from a couple months ago, I've been gradually following an awesome Unreal Engine course on Udemy, putting together the base C++ code framework for the combat system of my dream Christian spiritual warfare themed action RPG called Parables of the Set Apart Deception, while also simultaneously planning out and writing the first draft scripts for the initial 4 issues of my comic book series Intercession. And though both projects share the same world building concept and use the same demonic entities as bosses in the video game or a villain in a major arc of the comic, in the name of avoiding the classic solo indie dev scope creep, I distinctly set a rule that I am not allowed to attempt to make any of the Intercession comic book characters into Unreal prototypes until I am done with the Set Apart one completely, who is the main character of the game, as well as being done with the first issue of Intercession all the way to colors. And I was doing good for 6 months, but I broke that rule over the holidays because, as you can see, I have crossed that boundary for not just one character, but 3 of the Intercession characters: Kodosh, Majin, and Naki. Yep, in this second prototype build of Parables of the Set Apart Deception, you can wield the chosen spiritual weapons of warfare of Majin, Kodosh, and Naki, each with their own light attack combo, heavy attack combo, block, counter attack if you block right before it lands, dodge, and 2 charge attacks bound to holding the heavy attack button or holding the light attack button. All the individual character artwork was done by the amazing Justin Fernandez, where the characters were created by the one and only Ken Bowden, who is the illustrator for the series. We are currently working through the thumbnail process, and I will also blame Ken for this because Ken keeps sending me some really cool thumbnail shots as we flesh out the story and the layout of issue 1 that it would just drift. I would be coding, get that picture while coding, and my mind will instantly drift to I could definitely implement this scene into the code right now. And I resisted doing that for a couple months, but I just couldn't resist over the holiday season. Which, if you would like to check out the package build, it is available for free download over on the Kiddushim Initiative Patreon. If you like what we do here at the Xplanations of not just reviewing Christian theme work, but also building our own gospel-infused IP, shout out to Evan David for that terminology, would always shout him up whenever I use that, then consider subscribing over on Patreon. And as well, shout out to our very first and currently only paid subscriber, Quag. At least that's his username. He saw the YouTube video for build 0.01, downloaded it, tested it out, left some feedback in the comments, went over to Patreon and joined the Patreon, and has been a subscriber, our first and only subscriber on the Patreon ever since. And I just want to say thank you, man. It really means a lot to me. Over on our Patreon, you'll also see the artwork for the comic series Intercession weeks before it's publicly shown, and game dev updates for POTSA Deception, as well as the ability to have a say in the direction of our next goal for build 0.03, the Kiddushim Studios take on the spiritual gifts translated into an action RPG ability system, which Parables of the Set Apart takes a lot of inspiration from the Essence Stone system of Atlas Fallen. I recently picked that up on Steam during the fall sale for 90% off, for $10, as it was one of the games based off of what I saw of it that I wanted to model my own combat system off of. Some of my other inspirations, in case you are wondering, include Spider-Man PS4, I platinumed that, the Batman Arkham series, I played Arkham Knight a lot, Infamous Second Son, which I platinumed as well, and my Destiny 2 Prismatic Titan full triple 100 stats, Ergo Sum, and Falling Guillotine sword build. Dim link in the description for all my Titan beans out there. And believe it or not, yes, Lego Marvel Superheroes. It's one of my favorite games, and my action RPG is partially inspired by the combat system in Lego games, yes. because I recently got it again on Steam during the fall sale, and it made me realize I haven't played Lego Marvel Superheroes since like many years. Played it on Platinum when I got it on PS4 a decade ago, but replaying it on Steam the other day made me realize just how much depth there actually is to the Lego Marvel Superheroes combat system. Even though it's simple enough for a child to pick it up and play it, there actually is some depth to the animations and the different combos in Lego Marvel Superheroes, where I was actually blown away how much there was, especially for the fact that it's a Lego game. That I never actually took it into account how much different animations and different attack timings they are in a Lego game, like Lego Marvel Superheroes. And based off of some comments I got already, I know some folks have thought that the game would have automatically fell into the Souls-like category, being an action RPG made in Unreal, as those have become a dime a dozen. But I'll be real with you, I've actually never played a Souls-like for myself. Mostly because of prior personal convictions, which I'm not going to go into with this devlog, as there are many videos on that topic already on the channel. I have watched extensive gameplay system breakdowns, and I do appreciate the place that Souls-like hold in gaming and the evolution FromSoft has had on combat systems. But I've just gravitated more towards button mashers and flying across the arena to backhand slap that annoying range enemy type of combat style, over perfectly timing your attacks or receive a backhand slap from a boss 5 times your size, which that preference without a shadow of a doubt dictates the direction of the Christian spiritual warfare themed action RPG that I'm making. And if you want to check out what I got so far, then be sure to head over to our Patreon in the description. It's completely free and should run on most PCs. I ran into a few optimization hiccups in the map that I was proposing to be used for the 0.02 prototype build. You see the size of the flower? That was actually the size of the grass. Yeah, that was actually size of the grass, but I changed the grass alone to 20.
Drop it below 10. Try to drop below 10.
Nah, 18. To optimize a little bit. So for this build, I just opted for a basic Moonlight Grey box test. And if you liked what you played and have some notes, be sure to leave us some feedback or suggestion. Everything is 101% not final and will be iterated on. From the animations to the character models to the sound effects, they are all placeholders. The only thing that is constant is the actual base code, which is so modular at this point that I was able to turn it into 3 different characters with relative ease. Had some hiccups, but for the most part it came out how I liked it. Enemy AI may funk out a bit with the wave system I put in place from time to time, but I am still tweaking that stuff. This is more a sense of a combat system test than an enemy AI test. Fun fact, the texture on the enemies is called burnt chocolate cake that I got from Fab. In the next dev update, hopefully by the end of January or February, I'll have the first pass implementation of our take on an ability system similar to that of the Momentum and Essence Stone system of Atlas Fallen for our take on spiritual gifts. So until then, I hope you enjoy what I've got for build 0.02 or Parables of the Set Apart Deception, featuring the characters of Intercession.